Hi guys, this is Maki. Every year I work with hundreds of students that all seem to share similar technical problems. So today let's talk about how to fix 5 of the most common left-hand issues. Let's get started. Problem 1, pinching of the thumb. A lot of people try to get the string down by pinching their thumb against the finger that they're using. This is not what you want to do. This causes tension, it hampers shifting, and it messes with your vibrato. Instead, you want the left hand hanging off the fingerboard and the thumb lightly connected to the neck but not pressing up. That way you can vibrate freely, and also when you need to shift, you can just lighten the arm weight to access higher positions without resistance. Here's an exercise to practice this. Make a fist, put it on your right shoulder, drag across, and then swing your arm back. Notice that it's not down, but back this way to get the string down. You can practice the passage with the thumb hanging off like this until you get the hang of it, and then you can lightly touch the thumb back, but remember that you're still hanging off. See if you can get through the passage without ever pressing the thumb. Number 2, collapsed fingers. A lot of people tend to collapse the first joint of their fingers, sort of making a flat hand. You don't want to do this because it reduces dexterity and it prevents all your fingers from reaching the string at once. There's a time and place for flat fingers, but your foundational technique should have cupcakes, not pancakes. To practice this, try playing a passage by pulling the string to the left instead of pushing it down. It's going to sound terrible, but my fingers are actually completely hooked and the string never actually touches the fingerboard. When you get a feel for the shape of the hand, then you can go to a half pull, half push down. And they can gradually return to normal playing. Number 3, inconsistent hand frame. Sometimes, as we shift up and down the cello, the angle of our hand might go back and forth, which is really inefficient because the spacing of this angle is different from the finger spacing of this angle, which is different from this angle, so forth and so on. So what you want to do is unify the angle of your hand throughout the entire cello. To visualize this, you can hook your 4 fingers on one string in first position and just trace up. If you let your body follow the natural motion, you're going to see that it forms the perfect hand shape throughout the entire string. So if you're playing something up here, for example, and you want to check how you're doing, you can stop, go back, trace up to that position, and see if you got it right. Number 4, jerky shifting. Shifting is kind of like pulling into a parking space. If you go in at 60 miles an hour, you're probably going to hit other cars. Instead, you want to start the shift earlier and go slow. That way, you'll be more relaxed, more in tune, and probably the shift will sound better. Now, you do want to do fast shifts sometimes, but for the most part, let's say, instead of doing something like this, so see how I went as late as possible and really quickly? You want something more like this. Much more accurate, much more relaxed, and you can hear the shift itself. Number 5, extending with the 4th finger instead of the 1st finger. If you have a pencil, try 2 things. Reach down with your pinky. Notice that this part strains. And then reach up with your index finger and notice that the hand can remain relaxed. What does this mean on the cello? Let's say I'm playing 1, 2, 4 with first finger on the E. If I need to play an E flat and extend back, then I just have my first finger straighten out like on the pencil. But what if I have to extend forward? Well, instead of moving the 4th finger up, I'm going to move the whole hand up, including the thumb, and have the 1st finger extended back just like it was down here. Notice that regardless, my thumb is always with my 2nd finger. Here are the rules for extensions. 1, thumb is always with the 2nd finger. 2, 1st finger always extends back, never 4th finger extending forward. 3, if you have 3 notes that are whole steps apart, the fingering is always 1, 2, 4, never 1, 3, 4. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, hope you learned something from it. We'll be making more, and thanks for watching.